Okay, hi team. I am here with Kristen Method,
Woo! Hi!
and we created one for Lit, so we're gonna go through a math problem. And again, the point of this is just to outline the knowledge, skills, and processes that we as adults use when we solve these problems. And I think oftentimes we don't actually recognize a lot of things that we're actually doing in some of the knowledge and skills that are just there. So we want to name those because we have to teach and build those habits with our kids as well. So Chris, if you just kind of want to label, why don't we maybe do it up here? That way you can show work down here for the problem.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Cool.
Okay, so I'm going to work on problem 47. So kind of before I start...
This is 9.1 interim is where we got it from.
9.1, number 47. So kind of before I start any problem, I know that I'm going to think about three things. I'm going to think about the knowledge that I'm using. I'm going to think about the skills that I'm showing when I do my work. And I'm thinking about the process. Oh, I spelled it wrong.
We won't. Just put P.
And I think about the process that I use. Okay, so process one, I'm for sure going to annotate the problem. Okay, a car is traveling 100 feet per second. That's given on a highway. If the speed limit is 65 miles per hour,
What's going through your head right away?
Well, I'm thinking probably a knowledge piece coming into play is this is feet per second and this is miles per hour. So I bet the question is going to ask something kind of along those lines. How many miles rounded to the nearest mile? So I'm going to have to round over the speed limit is the car traveling.
And can you also, and again, you know, teachers, like this is going to vary by teacher, by school. But circle the how many miles, because one of the toughest things for kids is like actually knowing what the question is asking. So it's how many miles over is really what the question is asking.
So my first piece of knowledge that I'm thinking about is that I need the same units to convert. So I have feet to compare. So I have feet per second and miles per hour. So as they stand right now, I can't compare them. So knowledge piece number one is we need the same units to compare. Okay, so what am I comparing? Feet per second to miles per hour. So I'm going to just start showing that work, and then as I go, I'll think about the knowledge and skills that I'm using. So here's my work. I know that I have 100 feet per second, so per 1 second. So what else do I need to know? I need to go feet to miles, so I need to know the basic conversion there.
And this is not yet how to convert. This is like how many feet are in a mile. Like our kids need to know that number.
So I know just, you know, being an adult with my memory, I know that 5,280 feet equals 1 mile. Okay, so now I'm going to start setting up my dimensional analysis along the bottom. So a skill is I'm going to perform, oh my gosh. I'm going to perform a unit rate conversion. Okay, so feet's in the numerator. I know that I want feet in the denominator. And I know I want miles in the numerator.
Can you also show quick how we do the roadmap?
Oh, yeah.
Down below.
Yeah. So a process part of this skill, which I'll jot down in a second, is the way this was at our school is we made this awesome little roadmap. And the top part of my arrow, I know that I'm going from feet to miles. And I know that conversion.
Because we kind of asked ourselves, like, do we need to make a pit stop in between? The answer, no. We should know how many feet are in a mile.
5,280 feet are in 1 mile. So I can go direct here, no pit stop. And then I'm in seconds. So that's going to be the other side of my arrow. Seconds, and I'm going to hours. So I do need a pit stop. So seconds to minutes to hours. So that's a skill, but it's part of my skill. I'm going to perform my unit rate conversion with a pit stop.
And again, you know, whatever you call these at your own school, you know, doesn't really matter, but like, how do you perform unit rate conversions? Kids need to know that process. That's a skill that they need to know.
So now I'm going to finish. I'm going to keep doing my work. So I know that 1 mile has 5,280 feet. So I'm going to check feet in the numerator, feet in the denominator, which will leave me in miles. So that part of my arrow is complete. So now I need to start working seconds to hours. So if I have seconds in the denominator, I need seconds in the numerator to cancel. The way my kids do this first is we did all the units before the numbers, and it just really helped them stay organized. So seconds to minutes.
And we got that from our, like, and this is why we do that at the beginning, because there's so many steps all involved, but it's like, oh, they can know I need to go seconds to minutes. So that's what I put next. I need to go, so.
And so now I need to go from minutes to hours. So to cancel out minutes, which is in the denominator, minutes will have to go in the numerator, minutes to hours. So before I put in the numbers, the knowledge that I'm using in addition to feet and miles, I'm using basic time conversions.
And I'd say another, I mean, this is wrapped up into the skill of performing unit conversions, but a common mistake that kids have is basically with dimensional analysis, not knowing how to get units to cancel. And I would say a deeper understanding of like why they actually cancel. So maybe one piece of knowledge would be, I don't know the best way to put it, but like, you know, how to cancel units with numerators and denominators. And we're not getting that into this lesson in video, but like they need to have a deeper understanding of, they don't just cancel because one's the numerator, one's the denominator, like they need that deeper understanding. But that's a piece of knowledge that they should have to be successful in this question.
So I know that there are 60 seconds in 1 minute, and I know that there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So let's check units. Denominator and numerator seconds will cancel. Minutes denominator, minutes numerator will cancel, which leaves me in hours. So now I'm checking, do I want miles per hour? The answer is yes to that. So I'm ready to calculate that.
And then again, like what she's doing is already in the skill of performing these conversions. So we've already named that. It's a tough skill for kids.
I'm still working on it. So we're going 68.18 repeating miles per hour. So that's the first part of my work. So my process was annotating. When I annotated, I realized that this is a two-part process.
So that was kind of a metacognition of, in your head, you said, oh, I have to first get them to be the same units, and then I have to do what next?
So now I need to actually answer the question, how many miles over the speed limit am I going? So now that I'm in the same units to compare them, now I can do the how many miles over. So now I'm thinking, what does over mean? So this idea of the word over, that means the difference between. Okay, so I'm thinking I'm going 68.18 and the speed limit is 65. So I need to find the difference. So I'm going to subtract. So that's going to leave me with 3.18 repeating miles per hour. Okay. So in the annotate process,